Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Life's Milkshake Moment with health coach Joe D.
Well, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moments. Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be so sweet. I am so glad that you joined us for this special edition of Life's Milkshake Moment this Wednesday, as we are absolutely counting down 72 hours till the Mr. Les Brown is having a doubleheader here on KP Media TV. I am hosting, along with my wonderful co-host, Dolores Jones. We will be hosting Master Game Changers this Saturday on KP Media TV. You can go to events.kpmedia.tv. You can go ahead and just know that your life will never be the same. My life has never been the same since I met and was introduced to the inner circle of Mr. Les Brown. And I know Dan Gilman, producer on KP Media, feels the same way. I can tell you, it has just been an absolute beautiful time. It's been a beautiful time to know Dan, to work with him. And he has his own event Sunday with Mr. Les Brown, since he is part of this inner circle as well. So check us both out, will you? And this is what I know and how I came to KP Media 5 months ago. I can't believe we've been doing live broadcasts ever since then, because I said life is like a milkshake. When you choose your ingredients wisely, your life will be oh so sweet. Health is not something you do. It's who you are and become along life's journey. You become health, and then you are your health that you have in all 6 pillars of your life, starting with spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. So we're going to give you a preview today, 6 p.m. right here. We are going to give you a preview of our live event, Master Game Changers. You can see Les Brown on one side, and you can see on the other side these chess pieces. You see, I know in our present culture, being a health coach and holistic nutritionist now for over 40 years, we have gone in this culture from a tummy ache to a belly ache. Think about it. 1 out of 5 people have somebody in their household, 1 out of every 5, who suffers from mental illness. Over 85% of all North Americans are considered by the insurance company as morbidly obese. 70% of children. New York Life had this statistic out a while back and said they actually had a situation where the claims for decedent claims went up by 70%. It was usually 12% per month. And frankly, 12% per year, I was going to say. And guess what? On live TV, you just never know. I don't want to talk to anybody. Guess who I want to talk to? I want to talk to y'all. So guess what? That rate from 70% per 12%, think of the grief, think of the mental illness, think of the trauma that the U.S. Police Academy said that violent crimes are up 85%. And of those violent crimes, 50% of them are homicides. That is death, okay? As I said earlier, I'm Jody Bear, America's top foundational health coach. I know in my 40 years what this has looked like. I've had the privilege and the pleasure of just assisting many just people who needed to shed that unwanted weight, to shed that toxic fat, because maybe it's toxic relationships, maybe it's toxic this. And as a PhD in holistic nutrition, I have had the just humble honor of over 1 million pounds of toxic fat. I've had the humble honor now, coming out of retirement during the COVID era, to bring healing practices to people's health, to reclaim and regain their health post-COVID, of over 2,000 clients. See, in honor of this 5 pillars of health, you see these chess pieces behind me and Mr. Les Brown? Are you ready? We have a 4-pillar approach. Think about those chess pieces, would you? You have the pawn. The pawn is the physical pillar. Remember, I said spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. So the pawn is the physical pillar. Those are soldiers for your immune system, so that you can fight off whatever is in the world, because there are many, many diseases. These bioweapons are real, for real, for real. See, the pawn moves 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like your health, it's okay. Health isn't something you do. It's who you are along life's journey. And then you've got the rook or the castle. They're on the outside of that chessboard now, aren't they? The rook or the castle is like your social pillar. They can move anywhere across the board, but keep something in mind with that social pillar. Decide who you're going to bring into your camp, who you want to bring into your camp to keep healthy boundaries. Who do you want at your kitchen table? Who do you want just in your neighborhood? Who do you want in your state, maybe further out in your country? And maybe who do you want off the planet? You know people, don't you? You do, you do. So the rook helps you in your life and your balance. Then you have the knight. The knight has the L. That L lets him jump over people, do all sorts of things like the ninja warrior on a single bound, because the knight represents the mental pillar, being physically strong, socially aware, and mentally acute. The knight will be there when maybe it's night in your mind. The knight will be there. Good play on words. And then we have the bishop. That one's obvious. It's the social pillar. The social pillar of just going ahead, the spiritual pillar, I should say, the spiritual pillar of going ahead and looking at your true north, because nothing happens in life without it first being a spiritual connection. Animals are mind and body, but only humans have mind, body, and spirit. Thus it is in these worrisome times, in these times that we could have just taken it a little bit further, why we need each other, being mentally acute, socially acute, and spiritually acute. Do you even know in your mind mentally? Vax, no vax. I got the vaccine, I still got COVID. I didn't get the vaccine, I still got COVID. And then we have the war in Ukraine, we have inflation nation. And don't you just feel like sometimes in this world that you wake up and you're just blessed that there's not a nuclear war? That's what being a master game changer. How do you get to that other side? How do you make that happen? And frankly, it happens along with the queen. The queen is the emotional pillar. She's the queen bee, not just because I'm a woman, but she really is the queen bee. She has the most options on the board because it's her emotions. And we know the queen, when she has focused emotions, anything can happen. Did I say anything, anything, anything? And last, but definitely not least, we have the king. The king is the financial pillar. Without money, without this extra money, you can't pay for the new gas prices. Now, can you? Without having a financial background and a financial foundation, as I said, America's top foundational health coach, you must have a solid foundation financially. That's why the king, especially in these times, in these times that we see ourselves right now, it is the most fragile. But the keys to the kingdom are with the queen for knowing where to go in her emotions. But it's really, really the critical piece of the king that is of paramount importance. And yes, I'm going to give a little ad to my oldest grandson, Daniel. Daniel gave me all of these ideas. I said to him, Grandma wants to do a piece about a master game changer. Well, Grandma, I saw these pieces on your thing on Facebook? Are you doing something with chess? Well, he's a master chess player and is beating kids that are in college at age 12. I said, I need some help. You see, we come in this world alone, we go out alone, but we never, ever, ever are in it by ourselves. And that's what being quarantined, being in the pandemic, even 2 years ago, who thought it would hold over? Who thought that would we be still talking about this 2 years later? 6 feet social distance. I still, when I pay for my gas, if I pay for a bottle of water or something at 7-Eleven in the convenience store, I'm still 6 feet back, but we need to get in connection because as Les Brown says, what we have in this world is a collaborative sense and a community of like-driven professionals. That is so, so true. This group that we are bringing to Master Game Changers is second to none. We've all been working for various times. I'm a little over a year. Some people came in November with Miss Les Brown, but I can say that we all have felt that he's been a master game changer in our lives. It's because of his saying, you gotta be hungry. And nobody can say it like him. But I love his quote that I've used many times on the TV show, live life from the hunger of your heart. When you fill your heart with all you hunger for, your mind will find a way to achieve your desires. So let me ask you something. What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your desires? What do you want to do that only you can do? As Les Brown also says, it is necessary for you to be only what you can do. Know that it is you who can do this thing and no one else. So what is it necessary for you to do? What is it necessary that you can be? That you can be health, that you can be wealth, that you can be that person that only can drive the train. And I can truthfully say that this group of game changers, there's a quote from Les Brown that I want to share with you. It's not one of his famous quotes like, you got to be hungry, or another one that says something like, it's possible. Everybody knows that it's hard. It's done. Now, this one is about lions. And these are my colleagues with Master Game Changers. I've never seen such heart, such service, such absolute lions. Because Les Brown says about lions don't have to roar. There is power in silence, confidence, and persistence. Those who work don't talk. Those who talk don't work. Handle your business. Measure your efforts and results. Focus your time, energy, and money and activity on mastering and executing the plan. And that's what these master game changers have done. We have executed our plan. We have executed it to the absolute finest key of anything I've ever seen. None of us really knew each other except the 300 of us or so were in this group. And randomly, we were selected to be this group. I'm not going to even say randomly. I think when you experience what my guest here, my co-host for Saturday on Master Game Changers, strategies for living a legendary life, you will know, as Les Brown says, up in here, up in here. This wasn't a random selection for us. It was a true divine appointment, a divine appointment where, as I'm seeing Dolores's beautiful face, and we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to be just like Thelma and Louise. Oh yeah, we didn't make it back to the computer. Oh yeah, she's in her car. Who cares? Master Game Changers have with every single angle. We just make it happen. As my key to success that I'm going to share about the health pillar, I said, you just do it. NMW. NMW stands for code. No matter what. No matter what, you get it done. No matter what, you're going to be a game changer. And no matter what, as I'm bringing our sponsor, Ignite Publishing, into it. Yes, this was the book that debuted absolutely on all 8 categories as Amazon and international best-selling book, USA Today best-selling book, and also Barnes and Noble best-selling book. We nearly hit the New York Times best-selling list with Mr. Les Brown in December. It's been such a ride. But guess what? You can be on the ride with us too. You know why? Because I'm feeling like people that you're out there watching, you are a master game changer too. So let's take our commercial break. And then I'm going to bring my great, great co host, a great leader in her own right, and just a beautiful woman all the way around. I'm going to bring to stage the comeback coach, the queen of queens, the diva herself, Miss Dolores Jones, but we'll be doing this after our commercial break.
Ignite possibilities. It's the idea that anything is possible. In fact, anything and everything is absolutely possible. We just need to start believing in that. There's a lot of conversations going on the planet, and one of them needs to be about possibilities. We need to inspire and ignite possibilities in all of our minds once again to believe that things are possible. We can change the planet when we step into the idea that what is possible is absolutely possible, and we can go after that. We can do that. We can dream more. We can aspire for more. We can have more. We can include more. We can create more. We just have to believe it. Start doing it. Working in that direction. Having that conversation. Understanding that what's possible is truly impossible in each of us. Igniting possibilities. That's the idea. That's what we need to start talking about. Ignite possibilities in me, in you, in everyone, in humanity. When we raise ourselves up, we raise each other up. And when we start going after what's possible in our own lives, we give permission for everyone, every single person on the planet to go after what's possible for them. Ignite possibilities. Ignite a possibility in you. Ignite possibilities in someone else. And we can change the world.
So there we go. Ignite possibilities. It's just like Les Brown says, know that it is possible that only you can do what you can do and no one else. Know that it is possible for you to just go ahead and find the keys. Find the keys to everything that you need in your life. You can find those keys. All you need to do is believe it is possible. And before I believe that Miss Dolores Jones is going to be on stage with me, and we're going to make this the Jim Dandy mobile TV show that has never been done on Milkshake's Moments yet before, but we're going to make it happen. I just know because it is possible. This is what I believe, without a doubt. You can go to that ticker tape that's going around the bottom. It's mastergamechangers.com, www.mastergamechangers.com. You'll see the link, click the link, and you can register for our event. You can come to KP Media by yourself, but how about coming and registering and getting a free downloadable gift? Thank you to one of our speakers who created it, Anthony Corbin. So come and be a part of that. And I don't know where I went. That's very interesting. And say add to stream. And Dolores, you have just kicked out too. So I think we are going to come back and we're going to I certainly hope that I can add myself back in. Hello, Ali. I am hoping that you can hear me. I'm not sure why this screen, extra camera. Let's try that. Okay. All of a sudden it came back. I needed an extra camera. Who would have thought? This is over, under, around, and through. That's what being a master game changer is, isn't it? So I'm going to do Dolores's introduction. I'm going to believe that she's going to be here. And I'm going to believe that she is going to love what I'm going to say about this lovely woman. Dolores M Jones is an award-winning broadcaster. She is a journalist, TV personality, confidence expert, author, and motivational speaker. Delores is the author and co-author of 3 books, and she continues to be sought after voice for transformation and a trainer for change. She is, and her brand, you're going to love this, is destitute to drive time diva, because she's a co-anchor. She is a part of her featured story in the Kansas City Star newspaper, where she is from and she resides. She was actually even honored to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2007. And in 2016, she decided, see, that's what you will do as a master game changer. You decide. So you know that it is you, heck, who can do this and no one else. She decided to go for making a difference. And she started an LLC, Finally Free. She's known as the comeback coach. She's known as just a wonderful part of our team. And I knew, because she's a pro, she would be back here because she has done this enough with her multiple degrees in broadcast journalism. But her love and her focus is to help women to make bold moves beyond their labels, limitations, and low self-esteem. Let's get rid of the L's and really live in love. And so it is absolutely my delight, pleasure, and honor, and actually an excitement to see you, Dolores, to be on screen with you. And I'm going to add you to the stream. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, good to see you.
We did it. Over, under, around, and through. My goodness gracious, girl. You just never know now, do you?
No, I'm trying to get used to the Eastern versus the Central Standard Time. So I just thought I was on time.
Hey, but you were on time, because you're right here, right on the money, right on time. And that's what we're going to have with these master game changers. And you didn't hear what I believe when you hear the rebroadcast, you will love what I had to say about you, lovely woman. And as I've gotten to know you, this is like peeling the layers off the onion. You just have tears of happiness, because the more that I've experienced you, the more I've grown to love you, as we've done this project for master game changers, strategies to just live a legendary life. You are a legend unto itself. I'm so honored that we are going to be co-hosting this on KP Media, 1:00 Eastern time till 4:30 Eastern time on KP Media. Just go to events.kpmedia.com and you can see the ticker as it rolls, that you're going to mastergamechangers.com and you can register and get a free gift that will just give you a journey as we're going through these Master Game Changers. But before we jump into this, Dolores, I would love for you to fill in, tell them about your multiple degrees, the fact that you're famous, the fact that you're a TV personality, the fact you're with Oprah and your LLC and this and this. What else would you like to put this and this in there?
Well, and I am grateful. I am extremely thankful and grateful because, as you know, life can hit us with so many twists and turns. But
Yes.
I remember that Les Brown was saying something earlier. I listen to him all the time. And he said, life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want automatically takes over. And I would say I had to look at that and make a decision. And a lot of that had to do with changing the belief system, removing layers of limitations. You know, when a parent passes away, that can leave a gaping hole in your heart. And for me, that hole happened when I was 5. And my mother, she was 21 years old, and she died of a heroin overdose. So that left me with a lot of questions. And I also thought of something Les Brown said. He said, you know, keep asking for help and don't stop asking until you get it. So if I were to put another title out there, I would say a conqueror, more than a conqueror. And it's interesting that we talk about that. Sometimes, you know, you can be so down and out at one point that when you start to rise up out of it, you're so used to the struggle that it's hard to appreciate the blessing, you know, to appreciate the blessing. So in regards to that, I think one of the things is that I'm a successful single mother. And I usually say I'm a favored mother, because it's one thing to be single and it's another thing to be favored by God. And my son is now 23. And I was telling someone this story that the same college that my mother was in attendance at, she was a pre-education major when she passed away, days after her 21st birthday. I went back to that same school and was an adjunct professor for 11 years. And then my son, her grandson, graduated from there about 4 years ago. And that was just like, wow, Mom, we finished what you started. And so that's just it was just very significant to me when you can pick up things and you can look at your trials and tribulations and you'll say, I ain't going out like that.
No, that's a life milkshake moment that you put whipped cream on it, which is the name of my
yes.
You put whipped cream on it and a cherry on top and all the sprinkles. Congratulations. That's why you were a coach from experience. You just didn't get the certificate. Okay. It's a coach from just conviction. So how did you come up with the label? I'm sure there's an inspired story about that as well, about comeback coach.
Well, comeback coach, it actually originated from being able to bounce back better and not bitter. And you often hear you got comeback power, right? Well, how do you use that? How do you use your own comeback power to decide what you want to come back from? And when you come back from it, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
go.
Okay. So when you come back, you can either come back better or you can come back bitter. Or as Les would say, you can either get ahead or you can get even. And so, you know, these are those pivotal moments that at any given time in your life, you're going to be presented with two options. The option to stay stuck or the option to soar. And look at your situation from a mind sight versus an eyesight.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful for the ability to have been able to do that. But I'm also grateful for the people around me. You know, we talk a lot about OQP, only quality people.
Yes.
Because none of us stand alone. We stand on the shoulders of other people. And for someone like myself, you know, my packaging wasn't pretty. You know, my lifestyle wasn't pretty. I was homeless, living in an abandoned home, bathing in the basement sink of a junior college when I earned my first college degree and maintained a 4.0 GPA. And
There
what
you
I
go.
found out from that is just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're stupid. And sometimes the conveniences of this world can make us lazy. And when
Yes.
we're challenged with something, we'll feel like, oh no, my cell phone just died. You know, some of these
That is a
different
first
things. And I,
world problem. When your cell phone doesn't
yes,
open,
yes,
so when the gate to my gated community doesn't open, that's a first world problem. Sorry. You're
yeah.
anybody dying from Ukraine and over in Ukraine with my cell phone dying. No.
Yes, yeah. I often tell my grandmother, whom I'm named after, believe it or not, that she was the original combat coach because we all need mentors. And although she fought, one of the things I've learned is before we judge people based upon how they have fallen, we need to look at how long they fought to stand up. So my grandmother, who's an educator, at one point was introduced to drugs herself. And that just totally turned my life around. I'm in high school, I come home, and there's no water and lights. She got caught up with the wrong person and she
Sure.
lost everything, but she still had faith. And I remember going to a drug house one day on my way to college, to the junior college in my community. And I stopped by to see her. And she said, Dee Dee, is that you? I said, yes, Mom, it's me. She says, Dee Dee, God came to me last night and he told me you're the only one that's going to believe me. And Dee Dee, he told me he was going to give me everything back that I've lost. And I said, okay, Mom. And she says, no, Dee Dee, do you believe me? I said, yes, I believe you because I've been praying. Now, I can't tell you the period of time between when she gave me that word and all of a sudden she pulled up at the college and was in another car. Because when I say she lost everything,
She lost
cars,
everything.
houses,
Cars,
everything.
Mhm.
And then, you know, maybe her self-respect, her own sense of dignity. But God does his best work in our weaknesses, right? He says,
Oh,
in our
he
weaknesses, his strength is
perfected
made
it.
perfect.
He
Yeah.
perfected that. And you know why I'm saying, and I want to move fast forward because I'm telling you,
Okay.
Dolores, I could listen to you forever. I could listen to you forever, but we have got something very special that we are doing
Yes.
Saturday. Because I said earlier when we were getting back on here, I said we were, maybe some people think we were randomly selected for this group, but we were
No,
divinely
not at
selected
all.
to be together. We were
Yes.
divinely selected. The interplay of how this came about, and you know, Dolores, it took us a minute to find the name Master Game Changers, but what we did when we found it, it was amazing. And so I'm blessed that we're coming together and we co-producing. We have 13 members, ladies and gentlemen, that we're coming together.
Awesome members.
Master game changer, shifting into a legendary life. I'm going to ask our audience here, how big would it be for you to say, somebody said legendary behind you? Well, you know it's going to be amazing because of these 13 individuals. We already have the global voice with Les Brown. Just show up. Even for him breathing and laughing, you will be inspired to be legendary. Let's face it. But we've got these four
Yes.
pillars, Dolores, and we're going to be taking our audience through each pillar. And I thought, how fun would it be if we just the tip of the iceberg, you know, because you're a broadcast journalist, we're just going to hit a little bit. So you got to come back and see the rest of the enchilada. Maybe you can see how we're preparing it, but you're not going to get the real secrets now, are you? So we're going to live a legendary life. First of all, we're going into choose to live. And I will just say that I'm proud to be in that pillar because it's talking about health. And so I would love to just push this back to you, Dolores. What does that pillar mean to you with Tracy, Michelle Clark, DJ Muhammad? That I'm going to get brave and say his name on Saturday, his last name. I just know him as the alkaline alchemist from UK. And then Diana Ojingo. And what just comes up when you hear the four of us in that pillar, dear?
I hear evolution. I hear determination. I hear a refusal to give in to something that is trying to conquer your life. And you decided, I'm not going out like that. I got some say in the matter.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you were bold enough. Go ahead.
No, you had some say in the matter, as I would interject. You had some say in the matter that just because you were homeless didn't mean you were stupid. And
Right, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I had a say in it when I was face down in a surgical halo, paralyzed from the shoulders on down. I had a choice. That choose to live. And Dolores, my dear, you and Danita Miller are going to be gracing us with Choose to Love.
To love.
And, just ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say this about my girl here that's sharing the stage with me. If you didn't feel love, if you didn't feel goosebumps, and she's talking about her mother, talking about how her son and who knows, maybe your grandson, your granddaughter will be at the same college that you completed what was started.
Yes.
And think about as I go through from a tummy ache, because you were trying to get online, when I talk about from a tummy ache to a belly ache in this COVID era that we are, that suicide has gone up by 96% in the last 2 years. You were the victim of that. You were still in that Electra phase that you just weren't even conscious. They say 0 to 7 is when everything is formed. You lost your mom. I lost my dad at 3, but there's comeback in love. So just share what you have learned to love about Danita Miller, who's sharing that pillar with you. Would you please?
Oh, Danita is just very transparent.
Yes.
And she doesn't sugarcoat it, but she's sweet.
Yes.
You know, some people can go through their challenge and they're angry. But when you can look at it and say, what role can I play in this? And what do I declare and decree over my life versus what I see? And then to come out not looking like what you've been through. Because, you know, some people, you can look on their face, you can look at how they're carrying themselves, and you can say, ooh, they had a hard time.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when you have someone who can take their wounds and turn it into wisdom, when they can take their scars and create a phenomenal story, that right there doesn't happen every day. But when we listen to Danita Miller, you're going to see not only how she did it, but she'll give you strategies on how you can do it for yourself. Like you said, it's a choice. There's a book that says happiness is a choice. Yes. Love is a choice. Yes. At any moment, you get to decide that you can begin again. You can start to look at it from a different vantage point and say, you know what, I'm going to look at that again. And as Mr. Les Brown says, you know, some things are taught and some things are caught. And so when we watch and we listen to Danita and all the others, you're going to catch some things that are not in your book. So you want to be there.
Want to be there at 1 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday, KP Media, events.KP Media TV. And I want to go back to my brothers and sisters in Choose to Live, because DJ Muhammad, oh my goodness, he is a world-renowned transformational coach. He has created an alkaline just model in the UK that is countrywide. Tracy,
wow.
You know, an absolute spouse of a military. We thank her for her service, but she takes her a role to be obedient to our Creator as she chooses to live, to ignite that power from within. And of course, Deanna, with her story, most recently of a health challenge. That's what I call having it becomes a little C in your life. I have never called it. I'm not even on this radio show, because your diagnosis is not your prognosis, and how she has just overcome that to choose to live. And then we've got you and Danita being a love coach. And she said, didn't you love it, Dolores, when she said, well, just smile, because men are attracted. Yes. It's so cute. And then we're going to go into choose, choose your future. That's Les Brown's favorite quote. And so Anae Goldsby, my goodness, what a young lady.
Oh, yes.
She is going to be heading off our career pillar. Give us a little take on Anae, please.
Well, when she came out with just such force and so much power.
Yes.
And, sometimes we talk about women and we talk about just the gender wage gap, looking at that. And recently I saw that 84% women make maybe 84% of what a man makes as far as a dollar. And the reason there's such a disparity is because they don't have high positions in certain industries. They're more on the lower end. And so when you talk about what she decided to do, she refused to be denied. You know, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to make. I'm going to decide what my worth is, and I'm going to make it happen. And so you're going to step aside, right? As Lisa Nichols says, don't ask for permission, serve notice. And that's exactly what she has done. You know, she served notice. And then you have to look back and go, whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa,
wait a minute. Who is this?
When she talks about value coach, trial attorney, like I said, I want to be sitting on the same side of the table with her. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
And Dolores, think about it. You said 85% to man making $1, 85 cents. When I started 42 years ago, it was 69 cents. Big, hairy deal. It's still not there. We're making progress, but we're not there. And then we go about choosing our future. Let's just talk a minute about, we call him Abraham. We call him IB. I just call him Love. I
love him.
Accents and an IT leader. We wouldn't be doing this whole game without this. Master Game Changers website is his. So tell him a little snippet about IB. Why you got to hear his story.
I like how IB talked about going to the battlefield, you know, sometimes, and literally going to the battlefield, and how he stepped into a role that was not going to be given to him, and found out, he discovered that he was a journalist, that he had the ability not just to, you know, go through war, but he could tell the story. And you know what I love about him? He's so soft-spoken. Sometimes people go through wars and they come out and they're like, what, you know, he's not like that. He's just a all around sweet, firm young man who wants to see you win. You know, he has not lost his ability to be empathic. He knows what that looks like, and he has not forgotten. That in itself, when you can look at someone who's a survivor, not just of their circumstances, but you're living in the midst of a war. Right. We talk about the battlefield of the mind. He did. And then there's the battlefield of the mind. That's the hardest part. You can go through it physically, but if it's still inside of your head, you won't be victorious. And so in his case, he has conquered the battlefield of the mind. And he's showing other people how to do that.
And he's choosing your future. And we've got 4 more to go. And I'm looking at our time here. I know Jamila. I mean, I know her from Ignite the Hunger in You. We've had our book together with, and what she has done is talking about starting with nothing, just a vision. And within 1 year, choosing your future. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, Jamila Allen is a force in the whole sector of childcare. She created a multi-million-dollar business in 1 year. Enough said.
Whoa.
Jamila will.
Enough said.
She goes up early in the morning. I have seen her work ethic. It is, and she just does it with a servant's heart. So I'm going to piggyback. Tell us about Kevin Shields. My goodness gracious. I thought he was going to propose marriage. I thought he was going to propose marriage to me when he was on Building Fortunes Radio with that. Thank you. I'm going, but Kevin, I'm already married. Okay. He was just, I just love you. You mean I can say that I was on a syndicated radio show? I said, yeah. So tell us your take on the amazing self-esteem coach, Kevin Shields.
Well, firstly, I don't meet a lot of men who are self-esteem coaches. And so when he said that, and he talked about coming through a toxic relationship, when you really think about it, we only see it from a female's perspective. And here's this man who is saying, I'm a self-esteem coach. And I was, in a toxic relationship. You're like, wait a minute. Whoa. And I'm so excited to hear his perspective, because it takes two to tango. But when he was saying, I want to show you how to dance, I want to show you how to, find your value. And I love it. And he is handsome. Okay. And I'm not married. So there you go.
Okay, there you and there you go. They say down south, just when you see something like that, you say, hold a minute.
Yes. Wait a minute.
No. And then we're going to move into to choose to be wealthy, but it's more than just
Oh,
finances. And we're starting off with the Shira. Shira.
oh,
She is
I love her.
everywhere, and she just shows
Yeah.
up. So give us a 30-second
Yes.
snippet as I'm looking at time here. You know how it goes, Miss TV person.
Yeah. Well, Shira, she understands the power of relationships
Yes.
and relationship building. And a lot of people think when you have money, that's what matters. No, you can be rich in finances, but lack friendships.
Yes.
And the one thing about her is she has that I'm going to take the lead, not in a very aggressive way, but she can see the need that is before her and step in and take something and take nothing and make it out of something. And that was just apparent when we had our meetings.
Yes.
You can look up and she had the notes there, and she's sweet and she's doing this and she's doing that. And when you're wealthy, who was it? Was it Jim Rohn who said, if you give enough people what they want, they'll give you what you want. And that's a part of being wealthy. That's a part of being wealthy. So that's definitely what I see in her.
Oh, and by the way, Shira, if you're listening to this broadcast, I could take notes, but she takes them before you even get it out of your mouth. I swear to goodness.
Yes.
Organizing with emojis and whatever, because she is hungry. And another just dear, you talk about thank you for your service. Tracy and being a spouse of the military. And then we've got Officer Anthony Corbin, he was served 13 years in the military. And Anthony is like, to me, is like DJ Muhammad is our quote maker. Anthony Corbin is like Socrates and Aristotle. True or true?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Give us a little tidbit about Anthony. Choose to be wealthy.
The one thing I like about Anthony is he'll listen.
Yes.
And then he'll just ease something in there that we didn't even think about. It's not a forceful thing. It's, have you thought about this? This will make it better. Can we stop and pray? And he doesn't force it, but he has a wealth of information. I heard him on your show the other day, and I wanted to throw my stiletto at the radio. I was just like, what did he just say?
Yeah.
And I couldn't write down stuff fast enough because usually, he just takes it in. Some people have to talk. No, he listens, and then you better get ready because he's going to be dynamite. He's dynamite, and just a great all around kind of man. And you don't find those often. So
no, and we have found many in our group, and divine appointment. Then we're going to round it out with Nadine George. Nadine is an absolute. I didn't even know Dolores until she sent me her mini bio that she is a contributing author, featured story author on love to USA Today all the time. She's a New York Times. Yeah, what? See, that's those humble servants that are true game changers. She is an international and New York Times best-selling author. And she just has a vision. And boy, don't you know Nadine is going to bring it at the end. She's going to put an exclamation point, and the fireworks are going to be going. 30 seconds. What's your take?
Oh, yeah.
What say you?
My take is this, in life, there are people who want you to do better, but not if you do better than they are. Yes. And so for Nadine to be the type of woman to say, listen, I got mine, I'm going to help you get yours. That in itself is first class everything. And that doesn't happen a lot.
No.
And she's humble. She's so humble. That's why when you talked about her accolades and her credentials, I was like, what?
Yeah,
you wouldn't know it.
We've been hanging around together for 6 years. Because let me tell you something. Yeah, you got to be hungry, but first of all, you got to be You've got to be humble, and then hustle.
Yes.
And hungry. That's
the
PH. That is hot, isn't it? It's just
hot. And sizzling.
And sizzling when we have the global voice who'll be smack dab in the middle of everything. Well, how fortunate are we to have sat at the foot and the feet and the mind and the heart and spirit of the Les Brown for these last 6 months. Dolores, I know that's all we got to do. And let me tell you something, you can too. We're going to have a 2-minute commercial on our TV that's just going to give you the heart. And we're going to have, girlfriend, it's going to be you and me. He's going to be outnumbered, giving him the introduction for sure.
Yeah.
But I just want one last, we talked about everybody, but I want to talk about you for a minute. I want one last, drop us one of those dynamite Dolores nuggets to just wrap out the section before I close out our show for the last 8 minutes. Give me one. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Well, I say, why complain about things you can change? Right? Why complain about things you can change?
Mm-hmm.
And don't make other people's preferences your problem.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, know who you are. If a person is asking for something that is not you, don't you take that on.
No.
You send them to where they can find what they're looking for. And don't apologize for being alive. You know, you took the time to go through it. And if you're going to go through the fire, if you're going to go through the fire, if you're going to go through the heat, baby, come out on fire. Time to burn some stuff up. Yeah, burn some stuff up.
Burn it up. And then we don't just survive, we thrive. That's a true game changer. I am so blessed that this worked out in some kind of way. We made it happen. Delores,
yeah.
You are a dream.
My pleasure.
You are a true champion.
Thank you.
You are a queen. I am absolutely, when I said in our text, I am so looking forward to being on the same co-host platform with you. It is an honor. It is an honor.
Dr. Jody, wait, before we go, let's talk about you.
Oh.
The fact that you are Dr. Jody, who, what I saw is you're always willing to extend a helping hand. And the fact that you celebrate people, you affirm people. I want you to know how powerful you are and how selfless you are. And the fact that when you speak, everybody listens and you're giving out love and you're pushing us forward. So I don't want you to think that we take that lightly. You have taken each of your platforms and you have said, I'm going to put you out there. How many people do that? They don't. It's me. So your ego, ego stands for edging God out. That's not what you do. You bring people close. You know what they do? It's like, this is edging God out. But you're one of a kind. You're one of a kind, honey. You're just one of a kind. And I want to say thank you on behalf of all of us that you have taken time, your money, your resources, your friendships, and you've taken us to a completely different level. When you talk about marketing, you took it on. And so I say, we appreciate you, Queen. We appreciate you.
We are the queens. I thank you. I received this.
Yes.
Because it is the emotion that I said, the queen on the chess pieces is the emotion, and it's the emotional. And when we're focused with that emotion, all I'm going to say is be there. You will stay for the whole thing because you never know what Queen Jody and Queen Dolores, Dr. J and Dolores are going to bring.
Well, you know what? On the chess game, Dr. Jody, did you know the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard?
Yes.
Okay. I just want you to know that. And
so we're going to keep we're going to keep the ego out of it, but I got you. Safe drive home. And I bet you people are going on that interstate. They're, what's she doing? What's she doing?
No. I'm smart. I pulled off the highway.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm smart.
For now. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Blessings. Bye.
So what do we have here? I want to just run this up. I am so fired up. I hope you are too. Let me tell you something. In the guise of Life's Milkshake moment, guess what? Next week, the Brown motivational legend continues because my guest on the social pillar will be one of Les Brown's daughters, Samaya Brown. She's going to be talking about the social pillar of human awareness. She is a motivational speaker on her right, the author of several children's books, and you just get ready. So, as I said, master game changers, go to events.kpmedia.tv. Go there. Make your master game changer move now. Because now, spelled backwards, is one. Make the move. No chessmate in your life. Move through, move above and beyond, because this world needs what only you can give. Know that it is you that can give what you can do and nobody else. So I just leave you with this thought. What vitamin is most important? as a health coach and nutritionist, I can just say, is it vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E? And I say, no, 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 no. It's vitamin me. Vitamin me. If you're a little deficient, just take a little dose of vitamin me today in all 3 areas of your life. Mind, because you need your mind like the knight. Body, you need to be the pawn and the soldier. And spirit, like the bishop. If you're absolutely knowing on that social, keep your castle in place. Know which people to bring into your life for great boundaries. No one's to leave aside. If you're a woman, be the queen in that emotional pillar. And if you're the king, you are the most prominent piece on the board, and most important because you are the financial pillar. We need all those chess pieces. Be a game changer and learn the secrets from the global voice on down, Les Brown, about living a legendary life, because it's possible. As I said earlier, it is possible to open up the keys to a whole new world for you. It's within you to be that game changer. It's within you to say, it's possible because I am possible. So remember, Saturday, KP Media TV, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock Mountain, and noon Central Time. Just be there to know how to move your chess pieces in your life. Be there to be inspired, because your personal development will never be lower than your income. Your personal development will always be ahead of where your career, where your finances, where everything wants to go. So invest in this event. Invest in you. And I'm so happy and delighted to say that KP Media has invested in us for this event. Just go ahead, and you can always find me at www.healthcoachjody. That's Jody with 2 E's. You can find me on all social media handles at Health Coach Jody. And if you just want to do old school, 800-820-0854. That's 800-820-0854. And remember, always, 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 health is not something you do, but it's who you are along life's journey. Because when you choose your ingredients wisely, being that game changer with your goals, mind, body, and spirit, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Your life will be so sweet. I usually say until next time, next Wednesday, but this time I'm going to say until this coming Saturday. I'll say ciao for now. This is just Dr. J saying, have a healthy day.